What's the deal, baby? You already know it's the big boss hot boss dog K pulled through the door. Here to touch this boxing. So I was watching a YouTuber page. I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to make any type of get any type of numbers off of their YouTube page, but he's a very big YouTuber in the boxing game. But he was interviewing, I'm not even going to mention their names because then y'all be able to narrow it down. But he was interviewing two guys. He was interviewing a trainer and his son. And they was talking about Ryan Garcia versus Tank. So the son was saying that that Tank's last few opponents does not amount up to Luke Campbell. And that Luke Campbell is a great fighter. He's a gold medalist. And so we're going to talk about that point, and we just going to break every point down. So he says Luke Campbell is better than Tank's last couple of opponents. So he's saying Ryan Garcia showed grit, which he did. Him getting knocked down. But then when he got up, he just came back firing, and he was able to stop Luke Campbell to the body, which he did. And he says him doing that gives Ryan Garcia confidence, which it should, and which it would make against Tank a 50-50 fight, which I disagree with. I disagree with that right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Luke Campbell is not on Tank's level. Luke Campbell does not fight like Tank Davis. Okay? Luke Campbell is a European fighter. Typically, European fighters have a certain style of fighting. Okay? They don't do a lot of movement. They don't move their head a lot. They're pretty much there to be hit. Which Luke Campbell was there to be hit. The move he did on Ryan Garcia was a simple jab to the body and then come over the top. So since he's a southpaw, I mean, I do it when I spar. I jab to the body, and then I come over the top with the right. Because what it does when you jab to the body, it gets them to get their hands down. So they drop their hands partially, and you're able to come over the top. That's what he did. And Ryan Garcia's chin was in the air, right? So that was just a simple move that he was able, and a simple punch that he was able to throw at Ryan Garcia, and it connected. And it left Ryan Garcia arm looking like a paper clip that you bend back. You know what I mean? You know, a chicken wing. You know, it had him messed up, basically. So, although we give him the credit for coming back and, you know, getting up from there, coming back and fighting, if Tank lands that shot, there's no getting up. Okay? Also, Tank has more in his arsenal. This is not to bash Ryan Garcia, because I think Ryan Garcia is a hell of a fighter. And I think he can evolve into a great fighter if he continues to put in the work, stop really worrying about TikTok and all that. If he just hones in on his craft. I mean, he does take his boxing seriously, but he tries to do both. And I feel like if he just takes the time to focus on his boxing, take the time to focus on, you know, his defense and stand sharp and keeping his chin down, things like that, I think that he could fix those small mechanical errors. Like I said, they're minor. Him closing his eyes when he throws certain punches. You know what I mean? Or when he's throwing punches. or squinting them, whatever this is. It looked like he closing them, but it may be open. But him doing that, I used to do that. Now I just keep these mother wide. Anything, my eyes get wider when I'm throwing punches. You know what I mean? But those are things that he need to do. And I just think if he try to fight Tank right now, with the current flaws that he has, he gonna get stopped. I don't see it as a 50-50 fight. So like I said, it's no disrespect to Ryan Garcia, but he's not technically sound on defense. That's just what it is. Offensively, they need to work on that too, because he throws his punches all the same speed, so he doesn't vary his speed, which makes it easy for you to get time. You know what I mean? He has to differentiate his combination punch, because sometimes he may throw the same type of punch the same times in a row. Look what happened to Leo Santa Cruz. Okay? Now, they try to discredit Tank for beating Leo Santa Cruz and say, oh, Leo is a 118-pounder and, Tank was supposed to knock him out. Okay. But Leo Santa Cruz looked bigger than Tank Davis in the fight. And I'm not talking about just not only height-wise, like girth, like his body. His physique was bigger than Tank's. You know what I'm saying? So how can you sit there and say, oh, Leo is a 118-pounder when he looked way bigger than Tank when they weighed in and when they were fighting? You know what I'm saying? So that statement right there, I disagree with that. It was kind of like they were trying to do everything to discredit Tank, but they was giving Ryan all this credit off one opponent, like, oh, Luke Campbell, he beats all Tank's opponents. I don't think so. I don't think Luke Campbell beats all Tank's opponents. I don't think Luke Campbell will beat Gamboa. I don't think so. I just don't see that. Like I say, Luke Campbell's there to be hit. I don't see him beating a Gamboa. Now, he may be able to beat the guy that Tank fought in Baltimore. That guy who's supposed to be a knockout artist. He might be able to beat him. But it was another guy that Tank was supposed to fight. It was a guy that was like a fill-in. When Abner Mares had that detached retina, I forgot who he fought, but they just put that guy in, and you know what I mean? He was the replacement. I think it was that guy that Tank beat, but I think it was supposed to be they were supposed to fight in LA or something like that. And Tank, I don't know, I don't remember. But y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I got a issue with them thinking that Ryan Garcia is ready now off one opponent. You know what I mean? He fought one opponent, which is Luke Campbell. Let me give him his credit. He won the fight. He stopped him. It was impressive. You got to give him that. But you can't say, hey, because he fought one opponent who's been knocked down before and beat by guys who are not on his level. He got stopped by a guy, I don't know his name, one of them fighters over there in Europe. He got beat by a guy over there that's not on his level, that we don't even hear about no more. So how is Luke Campbell a good test? How is Luke Campbell a top fighter? What makes him a top fighter? Okay? But, Gamboa is past his prime and this, that. Look, I think Luke Campbell and Gamboa are in the same boat when it pertains to them being washed. Them being washed, I think both of them are washed. You know what I mean? That's just what I feel. But we're gonna talk about in another video how they protecting, non-black fighters. We're gonna talk about that. But because I just thought about something. But it just seemed like they did everything to kind of like belittle and bash Tank, but then say, oh, that's a 50-50 fight. Which, like I say, it's not a 50-50 fight. Now, Ryan fights Jorge Linares, and he stops Jorge Linares, and then he fights another test, and he stops that person while Tank is still fighting, like let's say Tank ain't fighting nobody that's making him work, then I'll be like, okay, it's a 50-50 fight. Which right now, I think Ryan Garcia need to do. He needs to go that route. I feel like Ryan needs to fight Jorge Linares. Okay? See how that go. If he stops Jorge Linares, he beats Jorge Linares, all right, hey, we're going to put you on another test. Okay, we might put you in a Rolly or something, you know what I mean? Get you like a little glimpse. Which actually would be a good fight, because that could be something that that'd be like a because that could also get him ready for Tank. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Because see, if you have him fight Jorge Linares, and he beats him, then he can go fight Rolly. Rolly's a southpaw, if I'm not mistaken. Heavy hands. Now, can he do everything Tank can do? No. But that gives him a look. That gives him used to that power. You know what I mean? See, look at me. I'm helping De La Hoya out. But right now, and I made a video about this, Ryan Garcia is not on Tank's level right now. Maybe later. Like I say, give him a couple of more fights. I could possibly see it happen. As far as like he being a 50-50 fight. Now, as far as star power, yes, Ryan Garcia is a hell of a fighter, but when it pertains to just he not on Tank level right now, bro. Skill for skill, Tank will destroy him. I think Tank will outbox him if they box. I feel like if they want to brawl, Tank gonna outdo him in that. Tank can fight on the inside. I haven't seen Ryan fight on the inside, but which most likely he gonna have to with Tank, because Tank is shorter. Ryan Garcia, I think, is like 5'9.5", and Tank is like 5'5", so Tank gonna have to fight him on the inside. Tank gonna have to fight him on the inside and use angles. So, but I don't know, man. I don't. Right now, no. And like I said, I could be wrong. Ryan can get in there with Tank right now and beat the brakes off of him. But I got to see it to believe it. That's just what it is. I done said what I done said. I done did what I done did. I mean, it was going to be longer, but then it's like, my video's going to be longer, but it's like, what's the point of even going into everything that was saying? And these are a group of fighters that had fighters who fought Floyd, and they was saying like, oh, we beat Floyd. It's like, no, you didn't. So then Floyd fought his fighter again and beat the doors off him. You know what I mean? But one thing I can respect about their culture is they support each other. In our culture, African American culture, we don't do that, man. We don't do that. We don't. And even when we try to, they gonna do something, to make sure that, we be at odds with each other, and we fall for it every time. But like I said, man, that's a whole nother video. I just said what I said. I did what I did. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gone.